Hey everybody, can you guys hear me? How's everybody doing? Let's wait for more people to show up before I start the conversation, guys. Hit that like button while you can. I'm just trying to get more people here. All right. We will get started shortly, guys. All right, we got 16 people. Hey, everybody. Give me a second. One second, guys. Trying to get. All right. 1 minute. We're about to get started in about 3 minutes. So get your questions ready. Anything you guys want to ask me, I will go through the questions. And of course, I will appreciate those donations, those of you who want to support the channel. Um, it's definitely much appreciated, okay? You want to make a donation, all you have to do is hit that button on the chat. You see that button in the lower bottom of the screen to the right where people type in their questions. Right underneath, there is a dollar sign. All you have to do is click that button and you can make your donation if you feel like it. So it is always appreciated, guys. Any kind of contribution you guys may want to make to the channel. Everything that you guys send my way is definitely put to good use. So as you guys know, it's not easy to do what I do at the level that I do. Okay, it's very complicated sometimes to get some of these components in here. It takes a lot of work, but I enjoy what I do. I have my job, my regular job, and when I am not working, I'm working on videos for the channel, releasing content, shooting content. You guys just saw my Nordost video with basically me reviewing the unit that I have been using and I'm still using successfully. So really cool unit, really good piece. So hit that like button, guys. There's 18 of you guys right now. Hit that thumbs up, please, so that we can call on more people to join us. I want to have a nice, decent crowd before I begin answering questions. Okay. So, Todd, man, again, appreciate that support, Todd. Really appreciate the contribution that you're making to the channel. Really means a lot to me. Okay. So, Todd, if you have a question for me, I'll be glad to answer it right now. I want to answer as many questions as I can, but of course, I need to prioritize those that are making those donations and contributing to the channel. Did you guys like that video, the QNET video? I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the video that I released with the cons of the Focal and the Magico S7 has done exceptionally well. Have you guys looked at the amount of views that video has received and the amount of likes? That video has been one of my best videos, performing videos, I should say. It's been one of my greatest videos to date. And I want to give a shout out to one of my subscribers. His name is Ray. Ray resides in Hawaii. He actually reached out to me and he wanted to help me out editing content for me. And we have done so far 2 videos, which is the video you guys saw today of the QNET switch and the cons of the Magico and Focal speaker. And I can't thank him enough, to have somebody to just help out with that effort of getting videos edited in his free time. It's just price list to me, because a lot of times I just don't have the time to do a better job editing video and content because I have other responsibilities. So I can only do what I can. But my plan, guys, is of course to elevate content and of course begin to just make more polished videos. I mean, I'm trying to get there. You guys have seen the transition little by little. Things are starting to happen. I'm getting a lot more recognition too, through the industry. A lot more brands are aware who I am. A lot more reviewers, you name it. There's been a lot of good conversations behind the scenes with me, as far as perhaps me traveling to different factories throughout the United States for me to do a better video, just longer, deeper, inside takes of what it takes to build some of the best electronics in the world today. And let me tell you, it's something that I am very excited to do, guys. I'm really, really excited. I just hope I have the time, given responsibilities, such as my job, right? So I was planning to go to the Pacific Audio Show next month, but unfortunately, it just won't happen, guys. I'm relatively new. I started a new job. And so, when that happens, I just can't travel as much, right? Because you are like the new kid on the block, right? With your new job. So I got to have a perfect balance with the channel and of course, my job. So, but I plan to perhaps make it to Capital Audio Fest. I'm thinking about Capital Audio Fest in November. Yet I do want to get out to another show this year. I think I want to do that for the channel so you guys can see more videos, more content. And here's something, guys, that I wanted to share with you. Okay, there is something I wanted to let you know I want to do, and that is I am planning to make a video of me going to my local Guitar Center and walk for asking what is their best stereo amplifier that they have, whatever brand it is. I'm not really very well, I'm not in the know when it comes to that type of amplification, but I was thinking, would it be cool if I went to a Guitar Center, bought their best amplifier, whatever that is, stereo amplifier with XLR ins, bring it into the channel and compare it against my Boulder and my Constellation Audio? Perhaps use the 2110 preamplifier into this, amplifier. What do you guys think about that idea? Would you guys like to see that? Is that something you might be interested in seeing? How does a regular or, I don't know, professional stereo amplifier from Guitar Center, how would it behave? What would it do against some of the amplifiers that I have behind me? Would you guys like to see that? Let me know, please. Thomas, I appreciate the donation. Thank you, my man. If you have a question, Thomas, please ask it. I will get right to it, okay? Much appreciated for the support, guys. Thank you for those of you who are donating to the channel. Really, really, really appreciate that. So what do you guys think about that idea? Let me know if that's something that you guys would be interested in seeing, because I think it would be a cool idea, right? To go buy a Class D amplifier from a Guitar Center store. Those of you who are not in the United States, Guitar Center is kind of like a brick and mortar location where you typically buy microphones, stands, very like professional type of equipment. For instance, for concerts, you got those loudspeakers that you put in parties, things like that. You can buy that type of stuff. So I'm thinking of going there and just picking up a stereo amplifier, their best stereo amplifier that they possibly use to power their speakers, and bring it into the room. And then, go through the motions of doing what I do, setting it up, putting it on the right shelf, maybe on top of one of my Artisania stands, put the same XLRs I use, and connect maybe my Boulder 2110 into the back of the unit. What do you guys think about that? Would that be something you guys would like to see? How do you guys feel about that? Yeah, exactly. Like a crown amplifier. Correct. Something like that. I'm thinking of bringing whatever their best amplifier is today, whatever amplifier that is today, whatever is considered the best stereo amplifier, bring it in here, and compare it against my Boulder or my Constellation, and see, maybe I am shocked how good the Magico S7 sound with it, or the Focals. That would be a good exercise, I think. Yeah, I'm just doing it here, guys. Todd, I'm thinking more for the fun, just switch it up a little bit so people can see that there are levels to this type of stuff. GI Ness, thank you so much, man, for the donation. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. I can't thank you enough for that support. Okay. Would I prefer a Ustreamer with little scratches? Listen, GI, your question is a question that I face every day. Okay, people want to know when it comes to used audio. Okay, I always buy used. When I can, I buy used audio. Okay, very rarely do I buy new. But if you can save money buying something used because aesthetically it may have a couple of blemishes, listen, buy it. Don't buy new, man. I'm telling you. The only way I buy something new is if I feel it's a piece that is costing me a lot of money and it might probably take it might financially hurt me if this unit breaks. For instance, let's say I bought an amplifier here, no warranty, but it was from like, I don't know, a very expensive company like I don't know, Griffin or something like that without a warranty. I would be very, very, very nervous if that were to break in my hands because I have to ship it to Denmark. I have to pay shipping both ways. Plus, I would also have to, eat all the labor charges, parts. So that can be a very expensive repair. So that's the only way. But I think DACs, for the most part, DACs do not go bad. Okay. So buy the used piece with the scratches. You'll be fine. Okay, let's get started. We got 50 people now. Guys, before I get started, hit that thumbs up. Okay, hit that thumbs up, please. Hit that thumbs up so we can call in more people. Thumbs up, everybody. Thumbs up, please. Yeah, so I'm thinking about doing that. I'm thinking about comparing professional type of equipment against whatever we want to call our equipment. Audiophile grade equipment. I think it would be very interesting to see those comparisons in the channel. But I am thinking about, like I said, going to a Guitar Center, picking up like a Crown amplifier, their top of the line amplifier, or whatever other brand there is, buying it, bringing it here, connecting my Boulder 2110 to it, or maybe the MSB Direct into it, put it on top of an Artisania stand, put all the same power chords that I use, and see how it sounds. I think it would be a great exercise. I mean, imagine if I go there and I buy a $2,500 stereo amplifier from a Guitar Center, and after I add all the auxiliaries, everything that I have here, all the cables, the power cords, everything, and I am surprised how good it is. I mean, I am keeping an open mind, guys, to be honest with you. I am keeping an open mind at all times because if you keep a closed mind in this hobby, I don't think you'll ever get very far. You got to keep an open mind. You got to keep an open mind here. If you want to succeed with your own systems, you have to keep an open mind. Possibilities are endless. And that's why I think you need to always partner up with someone who's done it before you, whoever that person may be in your country or your neck of the woods. It doesn't matter, but try to always have somebody near you that is at a higher level than you, that has already walked the path you're on and can give you their reference. Okay, so that's always important. Okay, guys, go ahead and let's get started. Okay, so what questions do you guys have? What questions do you guys what are you guys curious to know? By the way, okay, let me let you guys begin to ask questions. What questions do you guys have? Trying a tube hybrid amplifier. I have had a tube hybrid, which was they were the BHK from PS Audio. Those were the only hybrid. Actually, I also had the Macintosh 2301s, which are also hybrid. So I have had a few of those hybrid amplifiers. Okay. I like them. I think they're phenomenal. I really think so. I really think that that combination always has always resulted in long listening sessions for me. Okay. So it's never for me. Okay, let me put it this way: I have learned the most by understanding that what we do is really about system matching, guys. Matching what with what. To me, if you are great at doing that, you can put a system together for, I wouldn't call it very little money, but I think you can put killer systems with decent money and not have to break the bank. The problem is the only way to know what matches with what is by actually doing the trial and error. There is no way around it. You can sit here and you can speculate and read forums and read what everybody else is doing, but unless you do it in your home, you really do not know about the synergy that two components may or may not have. So I think that experience of going through different components, understanding that not everything is meant to work together is one of the best ways to learn. Unfortunately, it can be very costly, and I know some of you guys don't have the resources to do this. But I can tell you that I have learned the most by keeping an open mind, open mentality, and just understand that the options are limitless. We're never going to have two options. I think the industry is always going to keep us on our toes by constantly releasing more product every single year. We're going to have new product every single month. And it's us basically who have, we have to make that determination if we want to continue to chase our own tails or chase the dream and whatever that may be. Okay, a good question. Do I find any difference with cable lifters? I would say yes, guys. I find a difference with cable lifters. Now, I will be very honest. Should you buy cable lifters if your system is not really resolving? No, I would say just put your money in the bank, save up, and buy a better component, any other bigger part of your system. Okay. I can say that I have heard a difference, definitely marked improvement, especially with the system that I have behind me right now. Okay. That is absolutely the case. From a performance standpoint, noise reduction, everything that entails keeping the signal path as clean and interference free as possible, I can tell you that I can hear the difference. Things sound clearer, a lot more pure. There is more things happening. But I don't believe every system out there can reveal these things by just getting the cables off the floor. Now, I know there might be different opinions, and that's fine. But I don't believe if your system is composed of a couple of Polk audio speakers with a Denon receiver, that you're really going to hear a massive difference by lifting the cables up off the floor, unless you live in a crazy environment when there is so much interference. Then that's a different scenario altogether. My secret power conditioner will be unveiled really soon. I am waiting for the review to hit Stereophile magazine. Once that review hits, I will be front and center to unveil my power conditioner. Now, it's not going to be cheap. If you're thinking this power conditioner is under 10 grand, I'm sorry to tell you, this power conditioner is not under $10,000. It's going to be north of $10,000, the entry level. So that's the only hint I can give you at this time. Okay. But I will be releasing that very, very soon. The best stand mountain speaker that I know, I have to give it to Borisan. I think that's the best bookshelf speaker I have heard. Now, I understand that it's subjective. That's my opinion. Some of you guys may hate the way that the speakers sound. I respect that opinion. But what I can tell you is, for me, I have never heard a bookshelf speaker sound bigger than the Borisan N01, and it had a lot of clarity. They just disappeared into the room. They are $60,000, so it's not a cheap speaker. Fender, man, I have not heard the 801D Force, unfortunately. I have not. Yeah, I believe people can make their own cable lifters. I mean, I know people can. You can put cardboard underneath. You can put all kinds of like different things, different ideas online that you can find. It's a mod that can be cheap. You can do this yourself. Now, is it going to be the same as those expensive cable lifters? I don't really know. It depends on the system, the level of transparency that the system has. Pilium with Magical. I have not heard Pilium. I have asked the gentleman who is the distributor of Pilium up north, um, Bob, I believe his name is. Unfortunately, guys, Bob has nothing for me. I can't speak about Pilium, and that's all there is about that. I have been considering the MIT cables. Yes, that has been something that I have been contemplating. Unfortunately, they are very hard to come by for me. And guys, remember, at the level that I'm playing, cables are no joke. The amount of money that they take, even buying them used, it is a lot of money and a very expensive trial, because if the cables that you buy do not work, it's hard to find a buyer for that level of cable. Okay, so I always have to be mindful of that. Do I want to try MIT with Magico? Yes, I have heard great things about MIT cables with Magico. Unfortunately, I have never tried them, but I would love to try MIT with Magico. Absolutely, yes, absolutely. What type of tweeters do I prefer? You know what? That is a very interesting question. Um, I can say that lately, I used to be passionate about electrostatics. I used to be so passionate about them. This is why I own like 4 pairs of electrostatic speakers. Um, Very passionate about electrostatic speakers. I still have a soft spot for them. But as of right now, guys, I think I am really into the beryllium tweeter design. I think I am really, really digging beryllium tweeters right now. The only problem with beryllium, I think, in general. Now, mind you, guys, I have not owned every single speaker out there with a beryllium tweeter. But the only problem that I find with beryllium tweeters is that I just think that, man, if you really do not know what you're doing with cables and electronics, they can get very bright. Again, I am sure that's not the case with every speaker, because, for instance, I've been told Rockport is very smooth sounding. I haven't owned Rockport. I couldn't tell you. But I think that beryllium tweeter, generally speaking, is to get hot if you do not know what you're doing and if you really do not know how to mix and match cables and electronics. So, soft domes can also do that. I think the best soft dome that I've ever heard, which wasn't bright, was probably the Dynaudio soft dome. I love that. It never really jumped at me. It never became um, glassy or in your face. But I mean, it does just varies. I love, for instance, the tweeter in Wilson Audio speakers. I like that tweeter too. So it depends. There's no general rule as to what I like. Right now, it just happens to be that I'm digging beryllium tweeters. My power conditioner will only work with it will work with certain power amplifiers. It will work with certain power amplifiers, but it depends on the model. It depends on the model that you buy. Ethernet and USB cables. People are asking me about Ethernet. I will tell you this: with the Takeo Extreme, I prefer standard Ethernet cables coming from the router into the unit. When I use an Omega Ethernet coming from the router, in this case the switcher, into the Takeo loses dynamics and the sound stage just collapses. It seems as if it doesn't like the Omega Ethernet cable for whatever reason. So for the most part, um, I think at least 90% of you guys would get very good results with just a standard Ethernet cable, like a Cat 8, the latest and greatest. Don't get an old Ethernet cable. I mean, try to get at least something decent from Amazon, right? Like the latest Cat 8 or something. But I think that my system could really sound phenomenal with stock Ethernet cables. Now, it does get better with an aftermarket, but I don't find it as, oh my God, day and night difference. There is a difference. I'm not going to say there isn't. Absolutely, there's a difference. But I think I can easily live with standard Ethernet cables in my system. To get different sound, a pair of speakers with different amps. So that's a hard thing to answer. To get different sound, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Getting different sound, as in what? Like better, like bigger sound stage, or different presentation. I'm not sure what you're asking there. Let me see. I agree with you. The question is about the music. So, guys, if you feel like contributing to the channel, if you have a question that you want me to get to right away, just make a donation, hitting that $ underneath the chat. I'd be glad to address those questions first. If not, that's too. I also wanted to make sure that I take this opportunity to let you guys know that I will be doing a private live stream again. My second private live stream will happen tomorrow. And this is not a live stream that is like this. This is a Zoom link. I will send you a Zoom link. It's everybody will have their cameras on. We can see each other. The last live stream we had approximately 6 to 7 people because it was my first, maybe 5 actually. It was my first live stream. So I want to let you know that a lot of great things happen within that live stream. We talked for like almost 3 hours. And if you want to know about these private live streams, uh, number one, you have to make a donation to the channel to be part of it. Once you make that donation, a link will come to you, and within that link is a Zoom link. Essentially, you're going to log on, you're going to just hit the link, click the link, it'll take you to the live stream, to the private live stream, and I'll be able to see you. You guys will be able to see me. We'll see each other on camera. It's never a massive group, okay? Don't think about it being 200 people or 50 people. No, it's always probably, I think it's going to be probably under 10 people, and we get to talk and interact with each other. And of course, the best thing about those private live stream, guys, is that I am more vocal and I essentially answer anything you guys want to know. You can ask me even about things that are going to be showing up on the lab. I will answer those questions there and be open about what things I have coming up. And let me tell you, I have a special component too that you guys are not aware of. It's leaving on Monday, and it will be landing hopefully in about 10 days. Okay. So these private chats are primarily for, number one, for you guys to ask me anything you want to know. Okay. Specific questions about your system. Number two, if you want to ask me about prices, for instance, Jay, I am going to have a conversation. There is a pair of speakers like this. What should I expect to pay? What's a good deal on this? I can talk about those things too. I can give you my reference points based on what I know about the used market. And I can tell you that's a good deal. That's not a good deal. That's a bad deal. Don't worry about it, or run. That's a steal of a deal. I can give you a lot more information also about, like I said, um, the industry as a whole. Things that I know that perhaps I can't disclose on a live stream like this. Those private chats are for that. For a small group of people that want to make a donation to the channel, I will send you that link. You will, if you want to turn on your camera, you can. If you don't want to turn on your camera, that's fine too. But the idea is that we all see each other and we'll all have a very open discussion. Hey, I may even have a drink. in my hand. I don't know, right? Because this is not going to be done on YouTube. This is done through Zoom. Okay. I urge you guys to consider them if you are interested in talking about anything that I normally do not cover on the channel. Please let me know if you're interested. Shoot me an email. My email address is always on every video, on the description of every video. Let me know you have interest, and we can do this tomorrow. Okay. Thank you, James. I appreciate this. Thank you. Okay, guys, let me see. What other questions do you guys have? Let me see. I have not considered using Dirac. No, the software that does the room correction. I just don't believe in room correction, guys, for 2-channel. That's just my opinion, my personal opinion. I don't believe in it. But I don't see anything wrong with it. Listen, if it makes you happier, all that matters is that you're happier. Doesn't matter what I think. It does not matter. I'm not here to tell you guys how to spend your money. I'm simply here to give you an opinion, hopefully a qualified opinion, and you guys decide whether you want to pursue what you were going to buy or perhaps abandon that idea. Okay, I want to make sure I make that clear. A lot of my consultation services that I do are strictly about answering your questions and letting you guys know if you're, in my opinion, you're making a mistake going in that direction, or if maybe the product that you're trying to change or buy is not the product you should be buying, but rather something else. So that's one of the reasons why I offer this consultation service, guys. I don't use any surge protection. I use my power conditioner, and that does the job of a power surge protector in a way. It protects my equipment, my investment. My amplifiers are always into the wall. And of course, with a Boulder 3060, it is impossible to put that monster of an amplifier into a power conditioner. You can't, right? Nothing sustains that massive transformer. It's very difficult. 240 volts as well. Okay, this is a very good sweet spot for my digital end. Do you have a favorite DAC? Do I have a favorite DAC under 10K? I have been hearing great things about Hi-Fi Rose. I believe that DAC is about $5,000. I saw it very, very briefly at the last show, but I didn't get a chance to be a little more personal, more intimate with it. Okay, but I keep hearing great things about Hi-Fi Rose. For me, under 10 grand. If we're talking 10 grand on the used market, I would say a Cord Dave. I'd say that's probably a safe bet because anything above 10, then the conversation changes. Okay, let me see, guys. What other questions do we have? So what would you recommend? A pair of speakers? Let me look. I'm scrolling through the questions. Okay, so what questions do you guys have? I'm looking at the chat right now to see if I have anything that might be of interest to you guys. Okay, so is there anything else that you guys would love to ask and know about? Anything? What do you guys feel about the industry as a whole right now? What's going on? Like, we seeing Michael Fremer leaving Stereophile, headed to Absolute Sound, and then Macintosh being sold recently as well. Maybe that's a good topic for that private live stream. I have my own opinion on that, but I can't be too vocal about it in public like right now. Bookshelf around $500. I would say just go for those Polk Audios. I can't remember the model number, but if you look at one of my previous videos, I'm sure you'll remember. You'll find those Polk Audio speakers, those bookshelves. How to get better holographic sound with 2-channel and a sub? Interesting. I don't use subs for my 2-channel. I don't need them, especially with the S7s behind me. It's just, I got more bass than I can wish for. I am telling you, my bass here is phenomenal. I do not need any more bass. I've never used a sub for 2-channel. I've always just chased the speaker that gives me that complete presentation from top to bottom. If a speaker sounds too lean and I've tried everything possible to get it to give me bass, I just arrive at the conclusion that it is the wrong speaker for my room. As simple as that. I don't fight the speaker. All I do is position it, work with the placement of the speaker, maybe change amplifiers, preamplifiers. And if even then, after doing so much work, I find myself not content with the low registers, with the bass, it simply means I got the wrong speaker. It's not for my room. It's got to go. I do not have a VAC preamplifier anymore. My VAC preamplifier left a long time ago. My VAC monos left about a month ago. As a matter of fact, that was that video that I did at the VAC facility in Sarasota. That was me going to turn in the amplifiers so they can inspect them top to bottom before they head out to their new owner. So I don't have any more tubes. The only tube I have left here is the Audio Research Reference 6 SE. And yes, the VAC mastered preamp is phenomenal. My opinion on Griffin Vanta cables is that they're awesome. I like the Griffin Vanta speaker cables. I have them in here, and I like what they do. I wish I had the XLRs, to be honest with you. I wish I had Griffin Vanta XLRs in here so I can do a full loom. Yeah, the industry right now is going through a tough time. There is a lot of movement happening. It's no surprise, guys. I mean, the rumor has it that Michael Fremer was not getting paid what he wanted, and that's why he left Stereophile. He went elsewhere. He went to Absolute Sound. And I gotta keep it real, man. Look, listen, if the numbers don't make sense, I gotta go. I cannot hate on anybody for leaving to try to make a better living. If you are leaving your job today because you found a better opportunity paying you more, guys, it's common sense. You're going to go. I mean, really, we don't have much time on this planet. So why struggle, right? And I feel like if the reason why he left is money, I can't blame him. I really can't. Do I see him doing this for another 15 years? I'm not God. I couldn't tell you, but I probably don't see him doing this for another 15 years. No. It's the changing of the guards, guys. It's happening right in front of your eyes. The changing of the guards. We're starting to see the older generation of reviewers begin to basically check out. They're entering their retirement phase. They don't want to do this anymore. They want to finally just circle back and perhaps enjoy music for the love of it, right? Without making it feel like a job. And I think that's what we're starting to see. So you're starting to see a new breed of reviewers, and I'm not calling myself a reviewer. You're starting to see the new faces show up, new ideas, and I think this is great for the industry. I think having a different take, different angle, different approach to things is healthy. And to be sincere with you, again, it goes back to what I was saying to you guys. Keeping an open mind is important, right? When you have an open mind, you understand that times are changing. We have social media, we have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have all these different outlets that I think if you do not maintain, you are going to get left behind. And I like the fact that they're seeing, now down the tunnel to understand that they need to change the way they approach reviews. I think it's important to have personalities. I think it's important to have people that, you are engaged watching. Listen, I'm going to give you an example, okay? And if you guys do not watch basketball, maybe you are not going to understand what I'm trying to say, but I'll give you a perfect example. The Golden State Warriors just won their fourth title, right? They have a player by the name of Draymond Green. I personally don't think he's a great player, but he has that personality. He has this likability. He is very vocal. He brings this necessary attention to the NBA. And he's only one example. There are many other players that have a personality. I think that you could have the greatest talent in the world, but if you have zero personality, in my opinion, you're invaluable. I think a personality is just as important as how much you know. Okay, personalities to me keep the industry going forward. It keeps things more engaging. It keeps people tuning in. People want to hear from the dude that perhaps is very loud or opinionated or is rough or tells it like it is. People are interested in that. They want to see something different. Okay, this is something so important. So I am thinking that at some point magazines, whether it is Stereophile or Absolute Sound, whoever, they are going to start understanding that, you know what, we have our senior editors, reviewers, people who have been doing it for the longest, our OGs are here. And we need to start hiring a group of the younger faces and generations, the ones that are making noise. We need to start bringing those characters on board because we know there is a market that they appeal to. And we need those people to also read our magazines or reviews or tune in to watch us. So I think that is something that these companies, these publish, um, all these magazines need to understand that it is important to have a group of the OGs. Yes, the Greg Weavers, the Michael Framers, everybody, the John Atkinsons. It's important, but you also have to round out the team with different faces and different talents throughout, so that you can hit on multiple markets at once. And look, I'll give you an example. The video that I did with Greg Weaver, right? Amazing, phenomenal person. I've said it a million times. He's a walking encyclopedia. Okay, he knows so much about the industry. It just baffles me. But if you look at the performance of the videos didn't do too well. I mean, look at the clicks, look at the views, right? Look at the videos, the 3-part video that I did with Greg Weaver, okay, where I ask a lot of good questions that you guys have always wanted to know, right? Look at the video. They didn't get many views. In comparison to my last 2 videos, look at the difference in views. That just tells you people want to see perhaps me talking or my personality, me looking at you guys, and they want to hear my opinion on product. So this is what I'm saying, that having a combination of everything is important. And I think magazines need to start understanding that if you are keeping a tunnel vision and you what you have been doing, eventually you're going to get left behind. They got to bring on board the millennials or the new faces of the industry to help out and find a job or a position, whatever you want to call it, that suits their needs and enhances traction, visibility to the magazine. A lot of people didn't even watch that video, those 3 parts with Greg Weaver. Do you know why? You want to know why? Because a lot of you guys don't even know who Greg Weaver is. And that's no fault of you guys. It's just the fact that you guys are a younger generation, some of you guys. And so okay, Greg Weaver, he's a reviewer. A lot of people don't know who he is. A lot of people don't know who Michael Framer is. And that's fine. It's just the fact that you guys are a newer generation. Or maybe you guys are in a different country. So you don't pay attention to who writes the article, you just read it. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. It is important that we, maintain have an open mind when it comes to reviewers. I have not heard the 805D4s, unfortunately. No. Thank you, Walter. Thank you for the contribution. Thank you for the donation, Walter. If you have a question, Walter, please ask and I'll get to it right away. Okay. Thank you for that donation. Much appreciated. Look, I have been told recently about my magical S7s. Okay. I'm going to give you, and I'm not going to say to you who told me this. Okay. But I was just told that the magical S7, in his opinion, by a well-known person, of the many people that I know, is the most balanced speaker to come out of Magical. The speaker that probably, I wouldn't say has the least flaws, but price, performance, and all things considered, the Magical S7 is the most complete speaker to ever come out of Magical without breaking the bank. I'm not saying it's the best speaker, but when you look at the weaknesses, the strengths, what it delivers, what it comes with, and the price point, they're saying to me the S7 is the best speaker that Magical has put together. Not not the best performing overall. But when you look again at the price, they're saying the S7 is really the most complete speaker from Magical for the money. For the money. I have I've never line source speakers don't really have an opinion, to be honest. Thank you, Ernie. I appreciate you learning a lot from me. I'm not here to say that I know everything, but I'm here to share my personal opinion with people that want to hear it. Okay, so I have not heard everything, so my word is not gospel, no. But what I have heard, I have strong opinions about. So I know a lot of people are getting desperate to know about my power conditioner. I know, guys, and I agree with you guys. That's been the case. I am simply waiting for the stereophile review to hit. Hopefully this month. Once that is out, I'll come front and center and talk about the power conditioner. Plus, my website will also reflect the fact that I am a dealer for this particular brand, guys. So it's coming, guys. My apologies. I know I have been slow about telling you all what my power conditioner is. I actually have told some of you guys through my private live stream what the power conditioner is. Again, this is why I'm doing these private live streams. If you want to know things that I haven't disclosed, join the private live streams. They're actually Zoom calls with a camera on, and everybody's talking to each other with their cameras on. Highly recommend that you contemplate doing the private live streams that I am offering. Okay, as long as you make a donation, you will get a link, a Zoom link, and you can see everybody. They are not massive amounts of people, very small group of people, and we talk all things audio or any other topic you want to talk about, guys. We can talk about. Okay, consider the private live streams. I'm telling you, you can ask me anything within those live streams, and I'll be more vocal than I can be in front of this YouTube camera right now. Okay, private live streams are done through Zoom, okay, not through YouTube. So I can be as open as I want to. Those videos never make it to YouTube, just so you know. And it's very essentially everything is out in the open. You can ask me what you want. Okay. If you're interested in being part of these private live streams, I will be hosting one tomorrow. Please send me an email. Let me know you're in, make the donation, and then you'll get a link for the conversation for this private stream for tomorrow. Thank you, listener audio, man. I much appreciated, man. If you have a question, thank you for the donation. Please let me know if you have anything you want to ask me. Ask it, and I'll get right to it. Okay. JC, it's not how much to join. It's simply you make a donation. You choose how much that donation is. Those calls don't have a time limit. Sometimes it could be 2 hours. It could be even 3 hours. There's no time limit with those calls. I mean, it's an open table, open discussion. Those private live streams, you can ask me anything. I can give you my opinion on prices. I can give you, if you're thinking about buying a particular speaker or an amplifier, whatever it is, I can tell you this is a good deal, that's a bad deal. I go deep, okay? But this is a private group. And no, these calls, these conversations are not done on YouTube. So whatever is spoken within these private live streams, once the chat is done, once we're done talking, it's deleted. It's gone. So clearly, I am more motivated to be more open because if you're willing to be part of these private live streams with me and you're donating, that means that you're a huge supporter of what I do. So, of course, I owe it to you guys to be more open, more raw, and speak about anything you guys want to talk about. It could be even working out. It doesn't matter. I mean, it could be. It doesn't have to be strictly audio. If you want to know my opinion on a certain topic, listen. We'll go. We'll go. I'll give you my raw, honest opinion. Okay, my opinion on spectral audio. My opinion on spectral audio is that I first of all, I haven't owned it, so I have to say that. Okay, I gotta be all open. Never owned it. What I hear from people that I talk to regularly, it's that it's very detailed, lots of detail, lots of information, everything but the facts. I mean, everything, every single nuance is there in the presentation. Some say it's very dry sounding, no life, no soul. That's their opinion. I am not telling you mine. That's what I was told. I couldn't speak about it because I had. Tomorrow is, I am thinking probably doing the private live stream tomorrow, which is Sunday, at around 12 noon, 12 Eastern time. That's what I'm thinking about. Okay. If you're interested in being part of this private live stream, shoot me an email. I have heard of Karma speakers. Yes, great speakers, amazing build, fit and finish. One of the most astonishing looking speakers ever. Karma speaker builds some of the most beautiful speakers, and I heard it at Suncoast Audio. I heard the 7, I think it is the 7D DBS. I thought it was a phenomenal speaker. As a matter of fact, I know Mike at Suncoast Audio owns Karma in his private audio room in his home, so I know he loves Karma. And I personally can't say anything bad about Karma. I just haven't had the chance to own the brand. I have a climatization. Well, I have a dedicated AC unit in my room. Yes, my room has its own dedicated air conditioning system. Have I heard Tidal speakers? I heard a pair of Tidal speakers, or where they the Vimbergs, I think it is, something like that. I heard them in green at a show this year. Sounded phenomenal. I can't say it sounded bad. It sounded really good. I'm interested in Tidal speakers. I am very interested in trying Tidal speakers. No question about it. Unfortunately, my resources, my connections just don't carry the line. I have tried the Shunyata Everest. Great piece, great resolution. It really enhances the bass, the dynamics of the presentation, a lot of depth. I liked it. I think Shunyata builds some great products, great quality products. I cannot say anything bad about Shunyata. Really, I like what they build. Really do. I did not like the area Surratt room in Expona. I got to keep it real. I just thought it was okay. I mean, and I actually crossed findings with several people in the industry whose years I trust, who also heard the system, and none of them were impressed. So could have been the room. Maybe the room sucked. I don't really know. Maybe the room was too small. But what I heard didn't do anything for me. But again, look, I'm not saying that is like the final word on that brand. It could be the room, it could be the music. Maybe the speakers seem relatively close to me. It was a tiny room. I am actually impressed that, very surprised that, as expensive as those components are, Arius Surratt, they chose a tiny room like that. Because if you have the to build electronics like that, why isn't your room a big room to display and showcase the capabilities of your product? Now, the only thing I can say is maybe they ran out of rooms, and that's the card they were dealt, right? They had to stick everything in a small room. Then I understand it. But else, if that was not the case, that setup needed to be in a bigger room. I just thought that it was too close, too close to me. I just didn't spend probably the right amount of time with it, because the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes, it didn't do much for me, if I'm being honest. But I'm not saying that may not change the next time I see the equipment. Maybe my perception is, wow, okay, now I heard it. So at that last show, I was not impressed by it. Vivid Audio Spirit speakers. I like Vivid Audio. I think Vivid Audio builds amazing speakers. The presentation walks out of the room. The speaker walks out of the room. It sounds very natural, very smooth, great bass. The only problem with Vivid Audio speakers is that, a lot of people criticize their look, and that's subjective. That is very subjective. But a lot of folks have a problem with the look. That's one of the reasons why I think the brand has a hard time gaining enough traction. I'm not saying they don't have traction, but maybe the traction they wish for. Have I ever thought of getting those Sim Audio 888s? Oh boy, Sim Audio 888s. Let me talk about the Sim Audio 888s. I told Greg from Sim Audio last time I saw him at the show that I felt if anyone was qualified, of course, outside of a big review or publication, right? I'm saying anyone on YouTube is qualified to really give those amplifiers a listen is me. Because of the level of electronics that I've had in my room, I feel as if my ears are well suited to tell the story on those 888 Sim Audio amplifiers. A lot of those amplifiers usually end up in Asia. They have a huge market, just like Boulder. So they reached out to me. Sim Audio is interested in flying me to Canada, paying, of course, for the trip and everything, and allowing me to do a tour of the facility, plus have a chance to listen to the 888s with, I believe they may have Dynaudio speakers. I don't know what they have, but they are open to me coming in and doing my thing over at at their facility. So I am contemplating that trip to Canada and see if if I really fall for those 888s. Something tells me, guys, that the 888 Sim Audios are special amps. My gut feeling as an audiophile or reviewer, something is telling me the 888 Sim Audio amps are probably phenomenal amplifiers. Joe, thank you for the love, man. Joe, thank you for that donation, my man. I appreciate that donation. Thank you so much. Let me get to your question. Audio Research Reference 10 versus Reference 6SE. Look, and this is a great question for everybody to know. The differences between the Audio Research Reference 10 and Reference 6SE. The Reference 10 is very smooth. It sounds very big. It's like a yacht floating in the ocean. The Reference 10 is not in any rush to get you from point A to point B. It is just about chilling in the ocean, massive presentation, relaxed sound, big top to bottom, okay? The Ref 6SE is like a speedboat, okay? It's got more snap, more dynamics. I would say it's not as big sounding, but it probably has a little more focus than the Ref 10, in my opinion. I just feel like the Ref 10 is great for those systems that probably need to calm down a bit. I think the Ref 10 is a better match for that type of system where the is just a little too much and you need to just take a step back. You want things to just be a little more relaxed sounding. The Ref 10 will be better for that. The Ref 6SE is, in my opinion, overall, I think it's the better preamplifier, if I'm being honest. I think the Ref 6SE already surpasses what the Ref 10 does, with the exception being the massive soundstage that the Ref 10 has. Griffin Essence and Pandora preamp, no question the Pandora preamp is the better piece. I would not spend my money on the Essence preamplifier. Pandora preamplifier is what you want. I have done tests with fuse changes, and to be honest with you guys, I have a full box of fuses here that I have not tried, and that's simply because I just never get around to it, guys. And I am primarily focused on reviewing the big components, big things, guys, big things. Do me a favor, guys, hit that thumbs up, that like button, please. Hit that like button so that we can, make the video appear more, and hopefully more people can join us in the conversation. So when is Griffin Apex and 3060 happening? Well, Griffin told me They hope, I mean, they didn't give me a date. Okay. And to be honest with you, I may have to reach out to Rune over at Griffin and see if maybe him and I can have a conversation, a private conversation about what the expected the arrival time would be for the apex that I want to bring in here and listen to. I don't have a time frame, guys. I'm hoping soon. Thank you, James. Appreciate that, James. Much appreciated. Thank you for that support, man. Thank you for the donation and the contribution to the channel. If you have a question, James, please ask and I'll get right to it. Guys, it's not about it, guys. Don't feel discouraged by my channel and the craziness of the electronics that I bring here. I know some of this stuff is absolutely insane when it comes to price. Guys, I understand it. Don't feel discouraged. Don't feel like you're never going to be able to afford things in life. That is the worst thing you can say to yourself, okay? You're already jinxing yourself by thinking like that. Do you think I had any clue that I was going to be able to afford all of this 10 years ago? I never thought in a million years I was able to afford all of this, guys. Never. Even with my salary, my actual 9 to 5, guys, I couldn't. So it's been a combination of moves. It's been a combination of doing different things, side projects, working 3 jobs, making the right investments. And this is how I got here, guys. Don't think like that. Don't think negatively. I also need to do a better job at not being negative about things, okay? I don't want you guys to think like, oh, Jay only reviews things that I'll never be able to see, let alone afford. Stop thinking that way. You are already completely blocking yourself and your vision of achieving great things, okay? That's not the way to think about things. Please stay positive. Yes, you can afford all of this. No, I'm nobody to tell you can't. Yes, you can. If you put your mind and your heart to it, find your hustle, find your side business, find a way to generate passive income so you can afford all of this. Anybody can afford this. I'm not special. I'm just a dude sharing my findings with you all. Okay. You guys can do this. Find your whatever you're good at, find it, figure out a way to make extra money, and you will get here. I promise you. Great question, James. If you had to pick Pandora Griffin versus Volder 2110 and Solution 725, James, the question is probably incomplete because I need to know the rest of your system, James, to give you a better formed opinion about which preamplifier to choose, James. So if you can tell me the rest of the system, your system, James, I'll answer that question. Yeah, guys, stay positive. Stay positive, guys. Stop thinking negatively. I don't want you guys to be thinking that I can never afford this. I didn't think I was affording any of this 10 years ago, but I've been working hard. I mean, I've been working very hard doing a lot of different things, okay? So you guys can do it too. You guys can do it too. You have to have the passion and the desire to work. That's all. Okay, so let me think about this. Another thing that I wanted to say is if you are thinking about buying a preamplifier, okay, and let's say right now you're in a position where you have the money, you want to make a move and choose a different preamplifier. First thing you need to do is look at the preamplifiers available to you by the same line or the same manufacturer amps that you have, okay? That's the first thing you need to look at. Okay. If you find that you've already tried them and you didn't like them, then you can begin to look at other brands. But my first advice is look at the preamps that your brand of amplifiers currently manufacture. Okay. Don't look outside just yet. That's my first opinion. Okay. Now, after that, then we have many options, a lot of great preamplifiers that I can go on and on about, and I wouldn't have all the time in the world right now. I wouldn't have time to go over all of them. At that point, it becomes more of a consultation, and you guys can reach out to me. We can talk about it offline, but there are many, many great line stages out there that I think work very well with different systems, a lot of them. Okay, so let me see. I have never owned Conrad Johnson. I have not, guys. I haven't. Yeah, guys. Another thing is I speak very unscripted. I go with the flow, and if sometimes you hear me rambling, guys, I'm just being raw. I'm putting the emotion and what I'm feeling at the moment. Okay, so please forgive me. I oftentimes I just go off the top of my head and I tell it like it is. Okay, and that's the hardest thing to do, to have just that raw emotion. I have not changed actually my quality of sound on my YouTube channel. I think what you've heard is probably the speakers. My Magic OS 7s are sounding phenomenal. Guys, if you do not wear headphones, I'm going to strangle you. Okay? Wear headphones when you can, okay? At least a decent set of headphones. It doesn't have to be $200. Buy those AirPods if you want. That's fine. Just wear headphones when you listen to my system, okay? It gets you closer to the presentation. Okay, just do yourself a favor, pick up a set of affordable wireless earbuds. It doesn't have to be anything expensive. Okay, and just listen to the presentations with headphones. It helps, I'm telling you, especially if you're looking to make a decision on a particular component that I'm displaying. Wear headphones. Okay, please do yourself a favor. Yeah, Block Audio and Griffin sound very good. Absolutely, very phenomenal. Yeah, absolutely. No, thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for being here with me on a Saturday afternoon. I really appreciate all the donations from everybody. Like I said, I'll repeat myself right now. I have a private consultation, private live stream, I'm sorry, tomorrow. If you're interested in finding out how to join that, email me, okay? One thing is the only requirement is that you make a donation to the channel and then you will get a link, Zoom link. You will see me on camera, and everybody who wants to turn on their cameras will be part of the conversation. Okay. So it's not like this, it's actually more personable and better. Okay. Much better. You can ask me anything you want within these private live streams. And again, you will see people on camera too. There's going to be, it's a small setting, guys. So I know if you're panicking, perhaps you don't want to talk on camera. You don't have to turn on your camera. That's fine. But it's typically, probably less than 10 people. Okay. Very small, but within that environment, you can ask me whatever you want, price recommendations, anything that perhaps I wouldn't answer normally on the channel, right? I can answer there. Okay. So shoot me an email if you're interested in being part of this live stream tomorrow. Thank you for the donation. Thank you. Have I used Nordos QV2? You know what? I have not used that Nordos. No, I have not. Unfortunately, I have not, man. And but I do have the Nordos Odin power cord that I think sounds phenomenal, but not that specific power cord, to be honest, Dave. Sorry, I couldn't help you there, man. JC, thanks for the donation, JC. Much appreciated. Really appreciate your contribution to the channel. I am still running FureTech outlets. Um, the FureTech outlets, guys, they are definitely an improvement. They are. Listen, if your system is well rounded and you've gotten to a point where you feel you have the right synergy between amp, preamp, speakers, speaker cables, you feel that you're there. And now you're just looking to do the final touches, then go ahead and buy a FureTech outlet or a Shunyata outlet or a Synergistic Research outlet. You can do the cable lifters. You can do the minor, smaller things, okay? That's when you do this, okay? When you get to that level, when you feel your entire system as a whole is singing the way you think it should, okay? Then you can begin to incorporate the smaller components like what I just mentioned. Okay, so I do like the FureTech, but it is a painful breaking process. So if you buy them, I recommend that you perhaps plug it somewhere else in the house and use another device to break it in, because you are not going to be able to listen to your system with the FureTech outlet for at least the first 500 hours. It's very rough sounding. Karma is great, guys. As I said to you earlier, okay, Karma is great. Really good speakers. I have nothing bad to say about Karma speakers. Beautiful sounding. I get a lot of. I heard him at Sonko Stadio, and I think it's a phenomenal speaker. Really is a very dynamic. A lot of great bass, smooth. It's not really a bright top end or anything like that. It actually reminds me. Karma reminds me a little bit of Wilson, believe it or not. A little bit of the Wilson sound. Very dynamic, great bass. So yeah, that Karma gives me that feeling of a Wilson audio speaker, if that makes sense. I'm not saying it's the same, but it leans towards that side of things, that spectrum, that type of quality. Harbeth speakers, I have not owned a Harbeth speakers, guys. Unfortunately, Harbeth has been a brand that I have not been interested in. I'm not saying they are no good. That's not what I'm saying. But it's never really piqued my interest. I am still using the Tyco Extreme with the Select 2. I am also using another music server. Okay, so I am doing A and B comparisons with both music servers. Maybe at some point, maybe tomorrow on the private live stream, you can ask me what that other music server is that I have here. So I do have 2 music servers at this time, and great stuff. Passive room treatments from Synergistic Research. I haven't really contemplated those room treatments yet, but it's not necessarily something that I am opposed to. I can definitely look into that. All I have to do is text Synergistic Research, and I'm sure I can get an answer. Isolation footers, guys. To be honest with you, man, I don't know how to say this, but you guys join me because I'm raw, and so I got to keep it real, And honestly, guys, I don't really do footers. Honestly, I really don't. I mean, I don't know. I just feel like just a quality stand is better than those footers. I think those footers. I mean, I guess if you have money in your pocket and you're just itching to burn money, then buy them. But I just don't think so. I don't think that footers to me are, once you have the unit on top of a quality stand like an Artisania audio stand, I don't know why you would buy footers. Like for what other purpose? Where? I mean, if you have a stand with shelves like the Artisania 3 shelf, the esoteric stand, and then the 2 amplifier stands, I don't see where you would need footers. Maybe the footers for the speakers, yes, like isoacoustics, yes, or if you want to get the amp pods for the Magicals, yes. But I'm saying other footers for devices, guys, don't get caught up in that mess. I'm telling you, don't. I mean, it's just personally, I just think it's a waste of time. NBL, I have not heard a good presentation from an NBL speaker yet. I'm going to leave it at that. I don't know about a turntable, man. What I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to tell you right now. Okay, you ready? I got a new component coming into the lab. This component has completely escaped me for 2.5 years. I've been searching for this component for 2.5 years. Finally located it. This component is 6 figures, and the component that it competes against, okay, when I look at all the components that I've had that do the same function as this component, I am, without even listening to it, I'm going to tell you, it will destroy anything else I have had in here before. That's all I'm going to tell you. This component hopefully will be showcased on the channel in about 10 to 12 days. Okay. I'm telling you guys, 6 figures, 2.5 years looking for it. And I finally found it. And I expect this component to completely redefine my system in here, completely transform it. Just inserting it into the system should just completely take me to a whole new level that I probably have never reached before. Car audio interest? Not really. Car audio doesn't really interest me. It used to when I was younger, not anymore. The Magicals compared to the AIDA 2. Wow, man, I would love to have that comparison, guys. AIDA 2 in here with the Magical S7s. Oh man, that is dreams right there. That's dreamy. I would love to have that AIDA 2 in here, guys. AIDA 2 against Magical. Think about that. That's, man, if I could make that happen, AIDA 2 in here with this S7, wouldn't that be something special? I would love to do that, but unfortunately, I do not know if that will ever become a reality. Although it's not entirely impossible to accomplish. Sometimes the stars align. I can tell you that you never know, but that would be something quite special, guys. James, I don't really have. I mean, I'm not going to say anything bad about Critical Mass. I think that Joe builds his stuff for his market and his people, and I'm not here to dismiss his efforts. I can't really go into too much detail. If you're interested about knowing more about this, my personal take on Critical Mass, then maybe you should join that private live stream tomorrow. Okay, have I tried MSB Diamond? I have not tried the MSB Diamond ever. Magical S7 versus Magical M3. Oh boy. Let me tell you, the S7 versus the M3. If I have the money in my hand to buy either speaker, and I need to make a decision between the M3 or the S7, what do I get? It varies. It has to do with the room size. Number one, room size. If the room is relatively large, make no mistake, the S7 will be the better speaker. Now, the M3 could definitely rival it if you have subs, but that becomes an extra add-on. All I'm comparing is the speakers as they come, head to head. If the room is relatively large, I would choose the S7. Now, if you're looking for a speaker that is more refined in the top end, and a speaker that, it's definitely a superior design over the S7. I think that the M3 can give you more refinement, but you will never ever reach the amount of massive slam and dynamics that the S7 will give you. And to some people, the dynamics of the S7 override or is more important than any refinement that the M3 may have. I have owned M3s, M6, and S7s now, and I can tell you that the S7 is super explosive and dynamic, immediate, and for me, it feels more like the complete speaker for me. But I am not knocking on the M3. It's a phenomenal speaker too. No recommendations on portable devices, unfortunately. I've considered, I've thought about what does the perfect amplifier sound for me, and if I could perhaps come up with that design or talk to an engineer and maybe audition it myself and let them fine tune it to my liking. I've thought about that. I thought about how cool that would be for me to actually not design per se, but for me to have some sort of input on the design of an amplifier and what that is supposed to sound like based on my particular taste, of course. That would be cool. Thank everybody. Okay, is the room you are attached to your house? Or it's a separate structure, my room, actually. It's actually attached to my home. Sorry, it's attached to my home. StromTank power supply, amazing components, man. StromTank is amazing. Amazing. I keep hearing great things about StromTank. Let me see. Have I tried the MSB? Bring the new the new component is coming, guys. Don't you worry. The new component is coming. Those of you who will join that live stream tomorrow, that private live stream, will know what component is coming into the lab. Of course, I will tell you guys. You guys will be in the know. as to what component will be in the lab in the next 2 weeks. And let me tell you, talk about special component. Talk about a Bigfoot of the industry. That animal that everybody talks about, but you've only seen it on pictures and magazines. This is it. This component is pretty much the Bigfoot of the industry. Make no mistake, it's taken me this long to find it because it escapes you. Every time I got closer to it, it kept walking away from me farther and farther and farther. To join the private live stream, guys, all you have to do is donate to the channel, make a contribution, okay? And get an email with the Zoom link for tomorrow. It's going to happen tomorrow at around noon, okay? So if you're interested in finding out how to donate, please just send me an email. You guys have my email. Let me know you are interested in the private, being part of this private live stream. Zoom call is what it is, actually. It's a video call through Zoom. You guys will get a Zoom link, and we will be able to have an open-ended discussion about anything. I will tell you what components are coming into the lab soon. You will know everything that the whole world doesn't know, okay? That's part of being a little closer to me. Well, yeah, I agree. I use a regular electrical breaker box. Yes, I use a regular electrical breaker box. I have thought about upgrading my electrical system. Unfortunately, I have so many things going on, guys. By the way, I wanted to just give you guys a little more right now, a little more information. My room right now is going to go through a transition. I am working with Vicoustics, which is a brand that I also represent. You guys have seen the room treatments. As a matter of fact, you guys can see the room treatment right there in the corner, right? Vicoustics. I am working with them. Vicoustics is currently designing my room. This is a service they provide, which I can also facilitate, okay? It's only $120. And basically, what you need to do is take the dimensions of your room, exact dimensions. You also have to tell them your distance from your listening area to your speakers, also how far apart the speakers are. Show them actual pictures. You got to tell them even the lights that you have in the roof, where they are located in the roof, as far as the distances to the side wall, the rear wall, the front wall. You have to basically give them every minute detail possible that they would need to know. Then they come back with a 3D sketch, a computer generated sketch. And within this sketch, they will basically tell you exactly where you need to do your room treatment and which things you need to buy to make this a possibility. Okay. They have some sort of software that can predict where you have nulls in the room, where you have challenges in the room. And it's all based on everything you're telling them. You have to tell them how far your head is from the rear wall, from the side walls. You have to give them as much detail as possible, and they can literally replicate your room, and they'll send you the images of your room with all the treatment and what you need to purchase through them to dress up your room. So you guys are going to see my room go to a whole new level pretty soon, okay? A lot of these panels that I have had here, like for instance, see this right here? This panel? That's going to go, okay? Those are the things that they are going to go. I'm not going to use those anymore. I'm going to do the whole Vicoustic treatment in the room, and that's going to be phenomenal. So anyways, folks, I think that wraps it up. I want to thank you guys for the opportunity to be here with you all on a Saturday afternoon, at least here in Florida. And once again, I could not do this without the support that you guys provide me with every single day. Thank you. It's really, really a pleasure to give you guys my opinion of components that I have personally owned. And I plan to continue to do this as long as you guys are there for me. Okay. If you want to be part of this private live stream tomorrow, it's going to be through Zoom, as I mentioned to you guys, Zoom only. All you need to do is make a donation to the channel. So What you do is send me an email letting me know, Jay, I want to be part of this private chat tomorrow. I will tell you, you make the donation. You can send it via PayPal if you want. Then you will get a link. Okay. The conversation starts tomorrow at noon. Okay. Please, if you're interested, shoot me an email at my email address and let me know. Thank you for everything you guys do for me. Please continue to support me. Subscribe as always. Okay. Until the next time, have a great weekend wherever you are in the world. Peace, guys.